now hedged yourself. You protected yourself from having to buy those assets individually because you own ENKI here, which is going up. And now you have in your wallet 4 other tokens plus the ENKI. So that is kind of how these liquidity webs work. That's how these tax tokens are working on PulseChain. A lot of the assets that I'm in are simply tax tokens. It's PTGC, it's UFO, it's Alien, and it's ENKI. They're all kind of under the same mothership. They all have the same alien theme. And by simply holding them, you earn payouts from the buybacks and burns. All of them are deflationary as well. The more volume on these assets, the more they buy of themselves off the open market, the more they burn of themselves, and the more they add to a locked liquidity pool. So that is kind of what is going on over in PulseChain and why their prices are surging. Because as people are onboarding into PulseChain, more volume is happening, and that is creating more buybacks, more burns, and more LP ads. And what happens when that happens? Price goes up and to the right. It's really as simple as that. The nice thing about these is they're not really meme coins, but they kind of have that memeable outlook. They're all related to aliens and UFOs and outer space, which is another hot topic. I mean, Joe Rogan was just asking Trump about that on his podcast. So I think we're going to have a bunch of videos, standalone videos, explaining more in depth about ENKI in particular, how that ties to alien and UFO and PTGC. And we'll even have an onboarding process because a lot of people haven't got involved with PulseChain like yourself because you don't know how easy it is. Essentially, PulseChain is an added EVM compatible chain in MetaMask, just like BSC, Polygon, or anything else. You go on there, you add PulseChain, you bridge ETH over to PulseChain, and you trade on a DEX just like Uniswap. Boom, you're in the ecosystem, you're done. So we'll have some standalone videos on that, and I'm excited for the hype that's coming over to PulseChain. Obviously, I'm in it early. Hopefully, some of you guys have got involved in PulseChain as well. And if you do, really, I think ENKI should be at the top of your list as your first portfolio ad. Simply buy it, hold it, start reaping the rewards.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I happy to admit I'm a dilettante when it comes to most of these L2s and side chains or L1s that are launched. There's been so many of them, it's hard to keep track of them all. But you've been a big supporter. You've been talking about Hex and PulseChain for years now. This is pretty cool stuff here, man. Looking at just the homepage of the ENKI, or I guess it's the PulseChain alien.tech/ENKI on maybe a sub page of their page. But we've got total market cap 1.7 million, liquidity of 218,000, really good liquidity ratio there. But what's super impressive with the market cap of 1.7 million, they've now rewarded, it looks like this is like 23.5, another 10K. It's like almost like $35,000 in rewards have been paid out. And this is at a less than a $2 million market cap token. Like that's pretty legit. And you're getting paid out.
You also can see they've already burned over 6% of their total supply. So the total supply is already in circulation. There's no more dilution, and there's actually deflationary mechanisms because a percentage of the volume that occurs that is generating tax fees is being used to buy back and burn its own token. So that's what's pretty impressive. This thing is not very old, already burned over 6% of its supply, paid out 30,000 in rewards to holders in various tokens. And those are the tokens right now on PulseChain that are hyped. If you guys don't know about pDAI and wrap Bitcoin and the pegging is what they're talking about, do a little research. If that pegging occurs, that $30,000 in reward is going to be worth $300,000 or $3 million in rewards. Just because those assets are going to go up as well.
Yeah, just the pDAI would be close to $672,000 if that gets pegged to a dollar. And the Bitcoin is sitting at 23K total. Well, there's 13.6 potential Bitcoin in there. So let's just call that, 1.4 million almost. I mean, that, so you're talking about jumping from 35K to well over $2 million in rewards going out. So very, very cool concept. Another contender in kind of the meme game stuff. And one, I think from kind of seeing taking a national look at it, looking at their community, we've been talking with one of the guys at ENKI and kind of getting a little more familiar with the PulseChain people. I know that the Richard Hart fans are diehard fans. They're a bit like the Cardano people, except I think that PulseChain's actually been building some shit. So exciting stuff. I know we're seeing.
Yeah. I was just going to say, some of them are diehard fans. I'm not a super diehard. I didn't really get involved in Hex before its 10,000X run, but I got involved in day one sacrifice rate for PulseChain and PulseX because you got to open your mind up. You got to stop it. Like the people that were calling Richard Hart scammers, it was a lot of Bitcoin maxis. That's like how I felt watching mainstream media this year leading into the election. Like they just are uninformed or they're so emotional that they're just not reading between the lines, taking a step back and realizing what's going on. Richard Hart produced a 10,000X. His wallets are doxed. He hasn't sold a single token of Hex. He pre-produced PulseChain, which is a copy of Ethereum. It's had a 100% flawless uptime with cheaper transaction fees. He's produced Hart's Law, which is the understanding of how LP pools work within indexes and why everything moves together in secrecy due to LP bonding. And now we're seeing projects taking everything he's taught them over the past 2 years and producing massive multiples. Like I said, we are up 4,000 or 5,000% on PTGC. UFO is ripping, ENKI is ripping, Ailing is ripping, all while becoming deflationary assets and paying out massive rewards to the believers and the holders. Richard Hart is about to win his case against the SEC. SEC is dropping cases left and right. Well, guess what? Within 45 days, they have to give a ruling on Richard Hart. If he wins the case, hint, he will, then PulseChain is going to absolutely explode off the speculation, but also that frees up Richard Hart to start coming back. He hasn't done a live stream in years. He hasn't been very relevant on Twitter. He posts here and there about if Hex is up 20% of the day, and guess what else he posts? Every time SEC loses to a crypto project, he posts it. That's it. He has 11 lawyers that are telling him to shut up. You can post this, you can post that. That's it. Once the name gets free and clear, the speculation of the chain explodes. Once people realize how easy onboarding is, maybe through Crypto Paradise, the amount of TVL explodes. I want you guys to go look at DeFi Llama or some of these. PulseChain is now up to like the number 3 network. Not many people we know use PulseChain. It has the number 3 TVL in the entire crypto ecosystem. If this goes mainstream, if the floodgates open, then I think you're in super early on PulseChain and not anybody is talking about it. And that's when you can make massive gains in this ecosystem. If the opportunity is staring you in the face, you just got to take it. You got to read between the lines. Richard Hart has an ego problem. He wants to win, and he wants to laugh at all the haters that didn't believe in him. And I think he's going to make it happen this bull market. And he's already making it happen off the lows here.
Well, mark that down, Crypto Paradise fans. That is another Nickstradamus official alpha leak right there. We will have to do some more updates and educate you guys a little more on what's going on in the PulseChain ecosystem. But definitely going to be talking more about ENKI and what's going on there. So mark it down, November 27th. 2024, you got the alpha right here first. We'll be back with some updates on how many multiples off this call we get. But I hope you guys are subscribed. If you're not subscribed yet, Telegram community, get in there. The YouTube channel, hit the notification button. Twitter is our biggest platform. That's where we're most active. Definitely get on there. That's where you're going to find next week the official drop of the Crypto Paradise mini app. We're gonna have tens of thousands of dollars worth of prizes for you guys to win in there. You're gonna wanna be the first one to get in there, start racking up the Crypto Paradise tokens so you can cash those in for cash, crypto, whitelist spots, NFTs, Bitcoin, you name it. So the best way to find out about that, go and subscribe, turn on notifications on the X, on Twitter, and we'll have more about that next week.